We, the people of the Holy Bible, the Hebrew Israelites, are so often discounted by modern man and only spoken of in the past tense. The nations speak of the Israelites as being put away and even totally replaced by Gentile nations, but this is far from true. Because of disobedience, our Hebrew Israelite nation has been severely punished and displaced from our land of Israel. But our punishment is not forever. The Most High loves his people and will redeem Israel. This is cited throughout the scriptures. Here are just two scriptures showing the redemption, return, and blessing of the Israelites. Jeremiah 32 and 37. Behold, I will gather them out of all countries whither I have driven them in my anger, and in my fury, and in great wrath. And I will bring them again into this place, and I will cause them to dwell safely. Ezekiel 11, verse 17. Therefore say, Thus saith Yahweh Elohim, I will even gather you from the people, and assemble you out of the countries where you have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. The Most High God Yah made an everlasting and forever covenant with the lineage of Abraham through Isaac, then through Jacob. This special and everlasting bond that Yah made with the seed of Jacob was shown and spoken of from the beginning, even from the creation week. I repeat, even from the creation week. This covenant was shown in the giving of the Sabbath day. This very special day, the Sabbath day, Yah blessed, sanctified, and hallowed. Genesis 2 and verse 3 states, And Elohim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Exodus 20 and 11 states, Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. The Most High God Yah gave the Sabbath day to the seed of Israel. He gave this day to Israel even before he instructed his servant Moses on Mount Sinai, before the birth of Abraham, before the birth of Isaac, before the birth of Jacob, and before the births of the 12 children of Jacob, better known as the 12 tribes of Israel. Yah had already chosen the children of Israel to keep the Sabbath day. He chose the children of Israel above all people to keep the Sabbath day with he and his heavenly beings. Let's read about the keeping of the Sabbath day during the creation week. The Law Book of Jubilees, chapter 2, shows this first Sabbath day being kept in heaven. Jubilees 2, verses 1 and 17 through 33.
And the angel of the presence spake to Moses according to the word of the Lord, saying, Write the complete history of the creation, how in 6 days the Lord God finished all his works, and all that he created, and kept Sabbath on the 7th day, and hallowed it for all ages, and appointed it as a sign for all his works, and in everything. For on the first, and he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath day, that we should work 6 days, but keep the Sabbath on the 7th day from all work. And all the angels of the presence, and all the angels of sanctification, these two great classes, he hath bidden us to keep the Sabbath with him, in heaven and on earth.
Those verses that were just read were very telling. Of the many types of heavenly beings in heaven, only 2 types were permitted to keep the Sabbath day. It was only the angels of presence and the angels of sanctification that were permitted to keep the Sabbath day with Yah. Let's continue in chapter 2 to read about Yah's chosen people who were also blessed with being permitted to keep it.
And he said unto us, Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from among all the peoples, and these shall keep the Sabbath day. And I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and I will bless them, as I have sanctified the Sabbath day, and do sanctify it unto myself, even so will I bless them. And they shall be my people, and I will be their God. And I have chosen the seed of Jacob from among all that I have seen, and I have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath day, that they may keep Sabbath thereon from all work.
So the seed of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, were chosen and called out by name, even from the first week of creation, and separated to share the holy Sabbath day. This blessing should truly show us the great importance and honor to be given access to Yah's holy Sabbath day. Let's continue in Jubilees chapter 2, verses 21 through 24.
Thus he created therein a sign, in accordance with which they should keep the Sabbath with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink, and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people above all peoples, and that they should keep Sabbath together with us. And he caused his commands to ascend as a sweet savor, acceptable before him all the days. There were 22 heads of mankind from Adam to Jacob, and 22 kinds of work were made until the seventh day. This is blessed and holy. And the former also is blessed and holy, and this one serves with that one for sanctification and blessing. And to this, Jacob and his seed, it was granted that they should always be the blessed and holy ones of the first testimony and law, even as he had sanctified and blessed the Sabbath day on the seventh
Praise
day.
Yah. Even before the Israelite nation had been created, Jacob and his seed had been blessed and sanctified, just like the Sabbath day had been blessed and sanctified. The Sabbath day serves as a sign between Israel and Yah. Exodus 31 and 13 states, "Speak you also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I, Yahweh, does sanctify you." Let's read on in Jubilees 2 and 25.
Earth, and everything that he created in 6 days. And God made the seventh day holy, for all his works. Therefore he commanded on its behalf that whoever does any work thereon shall die, and that he who defiles it shall surely die. Wherefore do thou command the children of Israel to observe this day, that they may keep it holy, and not do thereon any work, and not to defile it, as it is holier than all other days. And whoever profanes it shall surely die, and whoever does thereon any work shall surely die eternally, that the children of Israel may observe this day throughout their generations, and not be rooted out of the land. For it is a holy day, and a blessed day. And every one who observes it, and keeps the Sabbath thereon from all his work, will be holy and blessed throughout all days like unto us.
To reread and emphasize that last verse, Jubilees chapter 2 and verse 28. And every one who observes it and keeps the Sabbath thereon from all his work will be holy and blessed throughout all days like unto us. Holy and blessed like unto us. The us being the holy angels. Let's continue in chapter 2, where further instructions are given in the keeping of the Sabbath day. Take note as we read on the importance of the sixth day as being a day of preparation for the proper keeping of the seventh day Sabbath. All food and drink should be purchased and brought into our homes on the sixth day so that we can be prepared for feasting on the seventh day.
Declare, and say unto the children of Israel the law of this day, both that they should keep Sabbath thereon, and that they should not forsake it in the error of their hearts, and that it is not lawful to do any work thereon which is unseemly, to do thereon their own pleasure, and that they should not prepare thereon anything to be eaten or drunk, and that it is not lawful to draw water, or bring in or take out thereon through their gates any burden which they had not prepared for themselves on the sixth day in their dwellings. And they shall not bring in nor take out from house to house on that day, for that day is more holy and blessed than any Jubilee day of the Jubilees. On this we kept Sabbath in the heavens before it was made known to any flesh, to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep Sabbath thereon, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat and drink, and to keep Sabbath thereon on the earth. And the Creator of all things blessed this day, which he had created, for the blessing and holiness and glory above all days. This law and testimony was given to the children of Israel as a law forever unto their generations.
Once again, let's reread that verse. Jubilees chapter 2 and 31. And the Creator of all things blessed it, but he did not sanctify all peoples and nations to keep the Sabbath thereon, but Israel alone. Them alone he permitted to eat and drink and keep Sabbath thereon on the earth. These scriptures show us just how special Jacob's seed is to the Most High. It's also easy to see how Satan's envy of this Sabbath bond between Yah and Israel has promoted Satan to promote evil in the nations. Satan's evil envy has promoted the nations to disrespect the holy Sabbath. Sadly, Yah's people, the Hebrew Israelites, have in disobedience also dishonored the holy Sabbath day. Both Israel and the nations have used the Sabbath day not to honor and worship Yah, but to do all their will, working, shopping, and much more. Yah prophesied to Moses that his people would forget and disregard the Sabbath day, the sign between Yah and his people.
All the children of Israel will forget, and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths, and they will go wrong as to all the order of the years. For I know, and from henceforth will I declare it unto thee, and it is not of my own devising, for the book lies written before me. And on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained, lest they forget the feasts of the covenant, and walk according to the feasts of the Gentiles, after their error and after their ignorance. For
Jubilees chapter 50 gives greater details to the proper keeping of the Sabbath day. This chapter makes it clear that certain actions are not permitted to take place on the Sabbath day. For example, lying carnally with your spouse is not permitted on the Sabbath day. Also, buying and selling on the Sabbath day is not permitted, and beginning a trip for that purpose is also not permitted. Fishing or hunting is not permitted on the Sabbath day. Starting a war is not permitted on the Sabbath day. And fasting is also not permitted on the Sabbath day. As we remember in Jubilees chapter 2 and 21, he wants us to drink and eat on the Sabbath day. Jubilees chapter 2 verse 21 states, "They should keep Sabbath with us on the seventh day, to eat and drink and bless him who has created all things." Let's go ahead and read Jubilees chapter 50, verses 1 through 2, 6, and 11 through 13.
And after this law I made known to thee the days of the Sabbaths in the desert of Sinai, which is between Elim and Sinai. And I told thee of the Sabbaths of the land on Mount Sinai. And I told, behold, the commandment regarding the Sabbaths. I have written them down for thee, and all the judgments of its laws. 6 days shalt thou labor, but on the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it ye shall do no manner of work, ye and your sons, and your menservants, and your maidservants, and all your cattle, and the sojourner also who is with you. And the man that does any work on it shall die. Whoever desecrates that day, whoever lies with his wife, or whoever says he will do something on it, that he will set out on a journey thereon in regard to any buying or selling, and whosoever draws water thereon which he had not prepared for himself on the 6th day, and whoever takes up any burden to carry it out of his tent or out of his house shall die. Ye shall do no work whatever on the Sabbath day, save what you have prepared for yourselves on the 6th day, so as to eat and drink and rest, and keep Sabbath from all work on that day. and to bless the Lord your God, who has given you a day of festival, and a holy day, and a day of the holy kingdom. For all Israel is this day among their days forever. For great is the honor which the Lord has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this festal day, and rest thereon from all labor which belongs to the labor of the children of men, save burning frankincense and bringing oblations and sacrifices before the Lord for days and for Sabbaths. This work alone.
Let's reread verse 10, which says, For great is the honor which Yahweh has given to Israel, that they should eat and drink and be satisfied on this festival day, and rest thereon from all labor. Eat, drink, rest, and praise Yah on the Sabbath day. Yes, that truly is a great honor given to the children of Israel. With honor, though, also comes responsibility. Historically and far too often, the nation of Israel has not been responsible, nor have our forefathers consistently kept the Sabbath day sign given to our nation. The prophet Nehemiah chastised our people regarding not keeping the Sabbath day, especially because of buying and selling on the Sabbath day.
Slave to their brethren, their nobles, and entered into a curse and into an oath, to walk in God's law which was given by Moses, the servant of God, and to observe and do all the commandments of the Lord our Lord, and his judgments and his statutes. And that we would not give our daughters unto the people of the land, nor take their daughters for our sons. And if the people of the land bring ware or any victuals on the Sabbath day to sell, that we would not buy it of them on the Sabbath, or on the holy day, and that we thereof. In those days saw I in Judah some treading winepresses on the Sabbath, and bringing in sheaves, and lading asses, as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish, and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah, and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah, and said unto them, What evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day? Did not your fathers thus, and did not our God bring all this evil upon us, and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath. And it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut, and charged that they should not be opened till after the Sabbath. And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
Today we must remember Nehemiah's words in verse 18, and the importance of the keeping of the Sabbath day. Nehemiah 13 and 18 stated, Did not your fathers thus? Did not our Elohim bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet you bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath. We must remember the many righteous prophets and priests that fought for Israel to keep Yah's laws and his holy Sabbath. A great example of this occurred during the Third World Empire, the Grecian Empire, prophesied by Daniel. During the Grecian captivity, Israel was not allowed to keep the Sabbath day by penalty of death. The righteous priest Mattathias and his 5 sons fought for decades for Israel to be able to freely keep Yah's Sabbath day and his laws.
Because Mattathias raised his voice and answered these officers, even if all the nations that live under the rule of the king obey him, and have chosen to do his commandments, departing each one from the religion of his fathers, yet I and my sons and my brethren will live by the covenant of our fathers. Far be it from us to desert the law and the ordinance. We will not obey the king's word by turning aside from our religion to the right hand or to the left. Get out of here. Altar. He burned with zeal for the law, as Phinehas did against Zimri, the son of Saul. In his righteous rage, Mattathias yelled out, Let everyone who is zealous for the law and supports the covenant come out with me. And he and his sons then fled to the hills and left all that they had in the city.
Yah's love for his people, chosen from among all people, is everlasting. Our love and obedience to our Creator must be placed in the forefront of our mind. As read in the first book of Maccabees, chapter 2, verses 19 through 28, we should be like priest Mattathias when he cried out, "Let everyone who is zealous for the law and supports the covenant come with me." Let us zealously keep the law of our Creator. Let us keep the Sabbath day as our Messiah, Yeshua, showed us throughout the New Testament. Remember that the Most High Yah chose our people, the children of Israel, during the first week of creation before Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob was even born. Yah chose our people to share in the keeping of his Sabbath. We must be diligent in keeping Yah's seventh-day Sabbath. Exodus 20:8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.